guys, welcome back to our podcast. I'm Briley.
I'm Max.
And I'm Michaela.
And today we're going to be talking about the myth of the legend of the Northern Lights.
The white bear, a legendary being, called out to the salmon after they lost their way, saying, "Look to the light and swim to the top of the great mountain. There you will find your home. There you will swim in the eternal river of the sky." The salmon had doubt in themselves. Some salmon were hesitant, but others chose to follow the white bear's advice. The journey was getting rough for some of the salmon, making them turn back around. The ones who stayed behind started to feel disheartened.
Look up to the heavens, one salmon reminded the others. As they looked up, they were met by a sky full of countless stars. Even in the darkness, the stars provided a gentle light, reminding them of the white bear's promise, pushing them forward. As they moved further upstream, the salmon, once dull in color, magically started to glow with bright, vibrant colors. When they reached the top of the great mountain after their long journey, they were astonished and realized that the night sky, which they thought was air, was instead an endless river. The salmon were joyful, but were concerned for the other salmon. The white bear informed them that to help the other salmon, they would need to swim in the eternal river.
And the fishes realized they needed to help the others, so they let go of their doubts and fear, and they dove into the river, and their scales were glowing. And then they became the Northern Lights and guided people or other fish who had lost. And the salmon were no longer wanderers and soon found their home.
This showed that the ones who took the white bear's advice and decided to take on the challenge of finding their way back home are brave and fearful. And the ones who stayed back are starting to feel lonely and abandoned.
One thing I really like about this story is that it symbolizes perseverance.
How?
Because even though the fish were disheartened, they decided to keep going.
In that myth, well, in any of the myths, in Native America, the Northern Lights are believed to be spirits of the dead, right? And so they were fish, right? And they would swim, and then they had to die for the other fish to help them. Thank you. And so the Northern Lights in the sky, you know how it's really cool, shining lines. It's resembling the fish, of their movement and stuff. Which the transformation from fish to light shows the connection between life and death and how nature continues on after we die. Okay, so in the story, there's two types of fish. There's the fish that sacrificed himself for the other fish, and the fish that didn't go with the other fish to the journey. So which one do you think you are? The fish that sacrificed himself or the fish that just stayed back?
I feel like I'll be the fish that sacrificed himself because I feel like I just wouldn't want to just be lost. I would at least help other people find their way instead of just everybody being lost.
Even if you had to die for other people?
Yeah, I probably would.
Oh.
Because if you're just lost, you're not really living, you're just existing.
I would say that I would probably be the fish that stays back because I'm not one to really take risk, and if I know that it's danger that would be coming my way, I wouldn't go for it. So I would probably be the fish that stays behind.
Story, the bear tells the fish something, a stranger's telling you something to do. Would you follow the stranger's instructions, or would you not trust them?
I probably would take the stranger's advice because sometimes people that you don't know and people that are strangers sometimes give you really good advice, and not everyone is lying to you and trying to make you believe one thing that's not true. Sometimes people who you don't know can give you really good advice to take.
I would probably have to get to know them and stuff before I trust them because I wouldn't just trust a random person telling me what to do because they could just try to get you killed.
But he's known as a legendary being, so
So then I probably would then.
Okay, guys, so that's it for our podcast for today. So I'm Briley.
Now Maximus.
And I'm Michaela.
And bye, see you later.